What's up, guys? Blake Covington coming at you with another video this week. As you can tell, I'm no longer in Mexico. I'm back in the home headquarters of Everything Massive, working with my clients again. And today is going to be a Q&A. We have four really good questions that have been submitted to our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and then submitted to my clients, from my clients as well. So I'm going to dive right into those. Now, the first one is your thoughts on fruits. So I believe fruits have a great place in one's nutrition program for detox. Fruits are an incredible way of just detoxing the body, cleansing the body. There's typically a lot of fiber in fruits like bananas and strawberries and blueberries. A lot of the berries have a lot of fiber, so that can really aid in your digestion. And then on the other side of fruits, there's a lot of sugar. And with that being said, I mean, you know, that's the tricky part. You know, you want to detox your body, you want to be healthy, but you also don't want to be taking in a lot of sugar. And so if you're somebody who's on keto, fruits are going to be out of question. If you're on a contest prep diet or you're really having to diet very strictly and restrict your carbs in order to lose weight, fruits are going to be out of the question. If you're in the off season, if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to gain weight, gain muscle, then I believe fruits are great. Now, be careful, too many fruits, that's too much fiber. You're going to spend most of your day, the next day, on the toilet, so be careful on that. But obviously, fruits are great. I like to put them in when somebody's adding carbs to their routine, especially post-workout. One of my go-to tricks is adding 1 or 2 bananas, depending on the person's carbohydrate intake daily. I'll add that in post-workout. And number one, it helps restore glycogen. It's a very fast digesting carb, any fruit is. And number two, it's got potassium. Bananas are high in potassium, so it helps with the recovery of the muscle, helps prevent cramps, especially if they're drinking enough water and have enough sodium. So sodium, potassium, and water, they shouldn't have any cramps, especially after a hard leg day. Have a protein shake and eat a banana or two with that, and you'll notice your recovery is much better. Your muscles are not as sore, especially if you're stretching them out, and you're not going to have as many cramps. So fruits, especially post-workout like bananas, if you can handle it in your daily macros, are great. The next question is train fasted early in the morning. This one, I've tried about everything. So I've trained fasted, and I've also trained on lots of protein and carbs. I believe if you're going to train in the morning, you need to have protein and fats. So my go-to meal first thing in the morning, and a lot of my clients see this on the program, is 1 scoop of level 1 protein from First Form, and then 1 or 2 or 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, whatever their fat intake is for the day. I like to give them some all-natural peanut butter first thing in the morning, and that keeps the protein from digesting super fast. It slows it down. It allows the protein to kind of trickle into the system like an IV drip, and it keeps your blood amino levels elevated over the course of the next few hours, which is perfect for in the morning. It's a very light, it's a quick meal to get down, and it's low in carbs. You don't want to have carbs first thing in the morning. I don't care if you train in the morning or not. You don't want to wake up and have carbs. The reason is when you spike your insulin upon awakening in the morning, you're blunting your insulin sensitivity for the rest of the day. You're getting blood sugar really high. Even if you go train, you're going to utilize those carbs. However, when you have carbs later in the day, outside of that workout window, your body's not going to respond as efficiently. So I'm a huge fan of keeping insulin levels as low as possible. That's why I like to do protein and peanut butter first thing in the morning, and let those insulin levels, let the blood sugar stay low through the workout. Because when you work out, you're going to burn carbs anyways. You don't necessarily need carbohydrates first thing in the morning if you're going to work out in the morning. It doesn't make any sense. You're not going to burn those carbs right away. You're actually going to burn what's in the muscles from the day and the night before. So it's better just to train on protein and fats if you're working out in the morning, and have that fasted training. I got off on a tangent of nutrition, but you're better off training on protein and fats early in the morning. Don't train fasted. Training fasted is very catabolic. You got to think, if I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to train, I'm going to break down muscle. The fastest way to recover that muscle is to start feeding myself with protein, amino acids. And if I have protein and fats right before I train, my body's getting those amino acids throughout the entire workout. And now the reason that I suggest protein rather than amino acids is you can't call BCAAs or amino acids a meal. It's not a meal. It's only the branched chains amino acids. You're not getting a full protein source. That's why I suggest drinking a full protein, an isolate or a sustained release protein such as level 1 from First Form, and then having peanut butter. So now you have a protein isolate that's sustained release, and you have peanut butter. So you have a nice, good, healthy fat. It's gonna hold you over through the workout. It's gonna give you a good, real food source instead of just drinking like a juice, like a BCAAs. The next question is, how much glucosamine do you need to aid in joint pain? Now, the answer to this is going to be a lot higher than what most people think, especially if I go buy some cheap supplements like at Walmart, Costco, or even GNC. They're going to have everything underdosed to try to get the most money out of you. That's why I recommend going to First Form and finding the products that are actually dosed correctly, because you actually need 4,000 milligrams of glucosamine to actually aid in joint pain. Now, joint pain can range from 1 to 10, someone may, I may think that my knees don't hurt. Other people that have the same exact pain as me may think it's unbearable. So anything, from what I found, anything less than 4,000 milligrams of glucosamine or 4 grams per day doesn't really have much of an effect on actually aiding in joint pain and joint relief. So I recommend at least taking 4,000 milligrams a day, which is 4 grams. Start off with that, with glucosamine. Begin taking that. Make sure it's coming from a high quality source, not Walmart, Costco, Walgreens, GNC. Don't worry about those brands. Go get a real quality supplement, such as one at First Form, and try 4,000 milligrams a day to start with. I promise you'll notice a difference within a couple of days. The last question is, what makes a good protein supplement? And the answer to this, there's many things that go into the protein manufacturing process. A lot of these companies, they will go purchase the whey. It comes as like a gelatinous substance, like a gelatinous gel, and it's real goopy. And what they'll do is they'll mass produce the protein by either adding hydrochloric acid, which will turn it instantly into a powderized substance, minus the flavor, or they will cook it at a very high temperature, very fast process. And that enables them to pump more product out the door every day so they can sell you cheaper products. If you go down to your local gym, or you go down to Costco especially, Walmart's notorious for this, and you wonder why you can buy a 2, 3, or 4 pound tub of protein for like $25-$30, it's because it is garbage. It's very low temperature process, or it's very low quality manufactured. Either they added a hydrochloric acid to it to instantly turn it into a powder, or they cooked it for a very short amount of time at a very high temperature, and it denatures the protein. So really, if they say you're getting 25 grams of protein per scoop, you're probably not getting, well, you may be getting 25 grams, but I guarantee you 12 to 15 of those grams of protein is going to cause bloating, gas, indigestion, burping. It's going to be gross. That's why people always associate, the big smelly bodybuilder to protein shakes. That's because those protein shakes are garbage. Don't use them. If they're cheap, there's a reason why they're cheap. So don't play the price game when it comes to supplements, or especially protein. Protein is one of the most expensive products to manufacture. Profit margins on protein are actually really, really bad from a business standpoint of view, and companies try to get around that by finding ways to make the protein cheaper, and then basically scam out the customers on a full scoop of 25 grams of high quality protein isolate. Now, isolate is the first thing you would look for. You don't want milk protein, you don't want lactose, you don't want casein. You don't want any of these other proteins. You want isolate protein. Isolate protein has been isolated away from the sugar and the lactose. So that's why it's isolate. That's why if you go look at a tub of casein or a tub of just blended whey protein that has about everything in it, then you go to isolate. Isolate's always going to be a lot more expensive. But there's a reason for that. You're getting quality protein. You're better off. Here's my stance on protein. You're better off not buying protein and just eating more chicken, fish, and steak than actually spending 30 or 40 bucks on a junk protein brand and expecting to see progress. All you're going to get is digestive problems, bloat, gas, all that stuff I talked about earlier. You're better off eating slow cooked steak, fish, or chicken that you know is a whole food source that's substantial. It's going to help you actually grow. It's going to give your body some substance. It's going to recover the muscles, okay, rather than buying a cheap protein supplement and expect to see progress. You're not. It's the only thing protein's doing is it's convenient. And if it comes down to what's in my body and my health and how I feel from day to day and how my food's digesting, it's going to be chicken, fish, or steak other than a cheap protein powder. And basically what you want to look for is you want to look for an isolate. That's number one, an isolate protein. Now number two is sometimes companies will deceive you and they'll try to hide how they make the protein. So you want to look for an isolate, but then you also want to look how they manufacture it. And it needs to be low temperature processed. The reason is when you cook protein at a slow temperature, it doesn't denature the protein. So you're able to get actually more quality protein. You're able to get more protein per scoop, and it's quality protein per scoop versus a scoop that may be a 35 gram scoop and only 25 grams of that are protein. You know, you have 10 to 15 grams of just additives in there. You don't want that. You want a 27, 28 gram scoop, 25 grams of protein. That means that there's not additives, there's not junk, they're not amino spiking. It is straight, high quality, low temperature processed protein isolate. So the difference in high temperature and low temperature is, I'll put it in this example for you, okay? And actually, I heard this example through some training I went with First Form. They explained it the best. So imagine that you have two identical chicken breasts, okay? One of those chicken breasts you put on the grill, one of them you put in a crock pot, okay? The one that's on the grill outside, you crank the grill up as hot as it'll go. Let's say your grill goes up to like 500-600 degrees, and you put the raw chicken breast on the grill, you fire it up, you close the lid. It's done in 10 minutes. I mean, the chicken breast is done. It's not been undercooked. It's definitely been overcooked, but it's not been undercooked. Chicken breast is done in 10 minutes. Boom, you put it on a plate. It's all black and it's charred. It's nasty. It's probably got all kinds of carcinogens in it. And you eat that chicken breast. Okay, for one, it's going to taste awful. You're eating like charcoal. And it's black and it's powdery. It's burned. And number two, if you're able to finish that chicken breast, you're definitely going to notice that you're not going to be feeling good. Your stomach is going to be very upset with you for eating that nasty, denatured, burned chicken breast. It's been ruined, okay? Now, the chicken breast inside, it sits in the crock pot at a low temperature. It's nice and, you cook it for 4, 6, 8 hours, whatever. You pull it out, and you can cut into it with a butter knife. I mean, you could probably take a spoon and you could just cut a piece of chicken off there, and it's falling apart, and you're eating it, and it's moist, and it digests well, and it doesn't make your stomach hurt, and you feel good after. You have energy. You feel really, really good. So that's the difference between low temperature processed and high temperature processed. These companies that sell you this cheap protein, I could name a dozen of them right now, but I don't want to get in trouble. But you have to do the research on your own, or if you're a client, I will tell you which ones are ripping you off, so you know what not to buy. But for purposes of being public here on YouTube, I have to do the right thing, and I need to make sure I don't talk bad about other companies. But these companies that are scamming you, that are giving you this cheap protein for 20, 30, 35 bucks, they're high temperature processing it. They're putting the chicken in the grill, they're burning it, and they're trying to sell it to you, right? Obviously, you're not going to eat it. hopefully you wouldn't buy their protein and drink it and expect to feel good, because you're not. Now, other companies, the ones that have the isolate, the low temperature process, it's microfiltered, um, it's been, it's not denatured in any way. That's like the chicken we talked about that's in the crock pot, where you eat it, you feel good, you don't have digestive problems, and it actually is benefiting from you. Your body's able to assimilate the food. It's causing a positive nutrition, positive nutrient uptake in the body. There's a term for that, and I can't remember. Anyways, it's causing a positive environment for protein synthesis to occur based on the quality and the ease of digestion of that nice, slow cooked chicken breast in the crock pot. That's the same as these companies that may have higher priced protein, but as long as you can do your research on how they're made and you find that those three things, the isolate, low temperature process, making sure it's not been denatured, obviously the price is going to show that, because it's more expensive to make that kind of protein. So that's a very long answer to question 4, but I think it's one that will benefit all of you guys. As always, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out. It helps me out. I give out more content on a weekly basis, more videos for you guys. And as always, if you can go down below, if you're interested in getting free shipping for life and free apparel on orders over $150, you can go to the first form link below. They will recognize you as that I sent you, and you'll get free shipping for life. Also, we are partnered up with Titan Medical Center in Miami, Florida. So if you have any HRT needs, you can visit them below. Give them a call. Tell them that Blake Covington or Everything Massive sent you, and they will be happy to give you discounts and work with you and help you get your body working in optimal condition and shape and feeling better and living longer. And we have our website below, and you can always contact me below for any diet coaching inquiries. So thanks, guys. Hope you liked the video. Have a great day.